From Lady Spartan Field on the campus of East Ascension High School, it's time for high school softball on the REV Game of the Week. My name's Jeff Porsche, and along with Jonathan Moore, we welcome you to 5A District Softball between the Prairieville Lady Canes and the East Ascension Lady Spartans. When we return, we'll talk about today's matchup and have the Lady Canes starting lineup here on the REV Game of the Week.
It all began in 1935, a new era in telecommunications, right here in southeast Louisiana, born from the ambitions of several local families, with a clear vision and outlook focused on the future, connecting people across 10 parishes, one household at a time, powering an internet superhighway from the bayou to the river, built to deliver the speed and reliability every customer needs. We are REV, 90 years of building connections.
Chris's Specialty Foods has you covered for tailgating this season. We do all the prep work so you can spend time enjoying your family and friends. Steaks, burgers, sausage, chicken, wild game, and many other great pork options. Our central location is now open on Wax Road behind the Walmart. And the new Highland location serves hot lunches and has a meeting space for your work team. New Orleans and Millerville are rocking as well. It's fast, affordable, and delicious. It's Chris's Specialty Foods.
Everybody loves Chris's.
From jambalaya, pastalaya, and gumbo to daily lunch specials, Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen has Cajun dishes to satisfy your hunger. Pot and Paddle has 3 locations to serve you, including the one on Cabela's Parkway in Gonzales, Jefferson Highway near Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, and Jubin Crossing in Denham Springs. You can dine in, carry out, or let them do the catering for an office get-together or tailgating at the big game. And don't forget about their delicious daily lunch specials. You can check out their specials and more on the web at potandpaddle.com.
Technology, a modern blessing, but a curse when issues arise. Your business systems should enhance your operations, not complicate them. REV Business is your human touch in the digital world, with personal support and meaningful solutions to your real-world challenges. We are a local team who will do whatever it takes to keep you up and running for internet, hosted phone, and security. Experience the difference of working with REV Business. 90 years of connecting Louisiana.
Welcome to the REV Game of the Week at Lady Spartan Field in Gonzales. Girls softball 5A. East Ascension, the Lady Spartans, are 7-5 on the season, and they're going to take on the Prairieville Lady Canes, who are 5-7, 0-2 on the season. And I'm Jeff Porsche, and Jonathan Moore is with us, and this is the third game for both teams in District 5A, and that's where both of these teams stand as well as the rest of the district.
Yeah, it's been a fun thing so far. We opened up district play last week. I got to listen to your Dutchtown game that you called. You did a good job on that one.
Thank you.
It was my first time listening to a softball game, and I like that we have some competitive teams in Ascension Parish. And it's not really that surprising because baseball and softball is so ingrained in the DNA of this parish. There's so many kids, so many teams, and it's going to be a fun game tonight.
Yeah, you see some of the standings. Right now, Walker is 7-3, and they are unbeaten in district play. And then you have East Ascension. They are 7-5, and they are unbeaten in district. Now, the team that usually is the front runner is Santa Ma. They are a game behind because in the first cycle of games they had the bye game or the bye week. It's not really a bye week. It's just a bye game, I guess, as you can say, because as you can see, there are 7 teams in the district. So every game, every time you go through the cycle, one team is going to sit out. So Santa Ma sat out first. That's why they are 1-0 in district, but their one win, you saw that Thursday night on REV. They defeated Dutchtown on the road 9-7. Now Dutchtown, they're 1-1, and usually we see Santa Ma and Dutchtown on top, but the season is still young. And then Denham Springs, they're struggling a little bit so far. Live Oak and Prairieville are 0-2 in district. They're both good teams, though, that could win some games in district play. Live Oak lost a lot of players from that team that made the semis last season in Sulphur. Now, Dutchtown got that win against Prairieville last night or yesterday evening. They played a game yesterday. That was a makeup game from a rainout from Tuesday. That was Mardi Gras Day. If you remember the weather on Mardi Gras Day, you had like the really bad weather that came in the afternoon. So that game got moved to Monday. And so that's why you're going to see what you see today with Prairieville, because that's the reason I'm bringing it up. Prairieville had a really good performance against Dutchtown. They were ahead going into the sixth inning, 4-3, and then they gave up an unearned run in the sixth, and then gave up a couple of runs in the seventh, and lost 6-4. But you're going to see a different pitcher on the mound than you're usually used to seeing for the Lady Canes. Non-select, and that was Sanoma and Live Oak. We talked about Live Oak losing a bunch of players, and now they're winless in district so far. Mm-hmm. So you had two teams in the eventual state champions, but then you had East Ascension, who got to the quarterfinals, and they were one pitch away from Sulphur last season. And then they gave up a grand slam to Ponchatoula and lost, and didn't get to make it. And Dutchtown also made it to the quarters. They were the number one team in the state in the bracket for the playoffs as well. Wow. And they lost to Live Oak, so they were one game away from Sulphur as well. And so when we talk about that, you're talking about four teams that could have been in Sulphur or were good enough to be in Sulphur. Now, one of them wasn't going to make it because two were playing head-to-head, but that tells you that this district is outstanding. And East Ascension, they are still good this season. As you saw, they're unbeaten in district, and you have maybe the best player in this area, the Ascension Parish area, with Caden Touye, who has been outstanding for several years, and we're going to see her. She's going to be the leadoff hitter, and she'll be playing third base today for East Ascension. She has a .571 batting average, a .765 on-base percentage. She has 5 home runs, 17 RBIs, and then 13 stolen bases. So she's not versatile or anything.
No, not at all.
She also has 4 doubles and 2 triples.
Yeah,
so she leads in most categories for the Lady Spartans.
5-tool players don't exist anymore, and she's a catcher. So, I think she also plays third base.
Yeah, she's a third baseman. Yes, for this team.
Just playing the hot corner, really good, a lot of talent, and really excited to see her this year. And we got Creel batting third, who benefits a whole lot. And right now, you can see the head coach Todd Schultz on the screen. His first year, 5-7, does have a state title under his belt in 2018. I think it was DeRitter, at DeRitter High School, and he's going to be coaching against a tough team, like we said with Toulier. She's the real deal, and Creel has 25 RBIs. Most of those RBIs are from her getting into scoring position.
And then you see on the East Ascension side, you have Coach Tony, as she's known, Tony Ricca. She's in her second year at East Ascension, and she had turned around a program that around the COVID years 2020 and 2021 were just not good at all. And she took a team that really was going nowhere, and she got them 1 out away from Sulphur last season. So she's 27-18. She's played 7-5 in district, and then she's got a 2-1 record in the playoffs. So this has been a remarkable turnaround because about 3-4 years ago, before she got here, she was an assistant at Dutchtown under Coach Nancy Insminger. But when she was at Dutchtown, this EA team, we came out here and they just were not very good at all. And when Tuier showed up and when Coach Ricka showed up, everything changed, and now they have a chance to compete for a district title this season.
And it's going to be fun to watch. You know, you love it when a team is able to turn it around. They bought into what the coach is selling. They bought into what she has been preaching. And it also helps when you have a person who's hitting .571 with a, 765 on base percentage. That does not hurt at all.
Right.
So she's been able to turn it around, but she's also got some very good players on the team, and she's been able to bring the most out of them. That's usually the mark of a good coach. You can put good players on the team, and they will play okay, but the great coaches are the ones that get a lot out of those players. So really excited to see what happens.
So we're going to see the introduction of the starting lineups by the public address announcer right now.
Center fielder number 21, Parker LaDuff. Batting second, the first baseman, number 5, Haley Versacoli. Batting third, the third baseman, number 22, Isabel Piper. Batting fourth, the designated player, number 7, Mackenzie Smith. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 9, Lily Kinberger. Batting sixth, your shortstop, number 10, Jordan Blanchard. Batting seventh and playing left field, number 6, McKenna DeRoche. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 13, Bristol James. Batting ninth, the right fielder, number 16, Maddie Richard. And your flex player, the pitcher, number 26, Peyton DeVere. And the rest of the Lady Hurricanes. And now, for our Lady Spartans, batting first, the third baseman, number 43, Caden Tuier. Batting second, the shortstop, number 14, Maya Lanu. Batting third, the designated player, number 10, Mackenzie Creel. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 55, Avery Stevens. Batting fifth, your first baseman, number 17, A.J. Johnson. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 2, Maddie Stevens. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 11, Emma Blanchard. Batting eighth, your center fielder, number 23, Adeline Bradbury. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 4, Zakiah Jackson. The flex player, the pitcher, number 8, Savannah Baker, and the rest of your Lady Spartans. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And here we go. Softball 5-5A district matchup between Prairieville and East Ascension. Let's look at the batting order for the visitors. The Prairieville Lady Canes. Their leadoff hitter, number 21, center fielder Parker LaDuff. Batting second, number 5, first baseman Haley Fisackley. Third, number 22, the third baseman Isabella Piper. Batting cleanup is a designated player, number 7, Mackenzie Smith. Batting fifth is the second baseman Lily Kinberger, number 9. Batting sixth is Jordan Blanchard, number 10, the shortstop. And then batting seventh is number 6, McKenna DeRoche, playing left field. Batting eighth is number 13, Bristol James, the catcher. And then batting ninth is Maddie Richard, the right fielder. And we are ready for the first pitch, which will be coming from Savannah Baker. So, Savannah Baker takes a strike for the first pitch, and we are underway.
So looking at an outside pitch right there, see kind of what she can set up and see what our first hitter's looking for.
And a strike to LaDuff, and it's 0-2. LaDuff leads the team in plate appearances, at-bats, runs, singles, and hit by pitch. So she's a very active player on this team, and a lot of those stats you expect from your leadoff hitter. 0-2, high and outside. Count 1-2, we are underway. No score between Prairieville and East Ascension. East Ascension in the field, in the gray, and there's a ground ball to short. Lanou has it over to first to Johnson, and we have one out, 6-3. And now let's look at the defensive starters for East Ascension. In the infield, you have A.J. Johnson at first, Madison Stevens at second, Caden Touye at third, Maya Lanou at short. In the outfield, Zakaya Jackson, Adeline Bradbury, and Emma Blanchard. Behind the plate, Avery Stevens, and on the mound is Savannah Baker. And we have one out here in the first. And now Fisackerly will take a ball for her first pitch. One out, no score.
So Prairieville been pretty patient so far. Only swung at one pitch, just looking for that one that she wants, and is it right on cue?
Just like
chases
that.
One in the dirt. But first approach was kind of just try to find your pitch. Made good contact on the first one, just hit it straight to the shortstop.
So Baker, she pitched a lot last season, and the third pitch to this at bat is high, so it's 2-1. She's still a young pitcher, still trying to figure everything out. Both of these teams are going to feature young pitchers. And pitch is a strike on the inside corner, and the count is 2-2 with one out here in the top of the first inning.
That pitch barely touched the strike zone. That was a very good pitch right there.
And this young sophomore pitcher, 2-2 pitch is outside, so we're going to have our first full count of the day. 3-2, one out. Inside, ball 4. So we have our first base runner of the day, and she will take her spot at first, and then Isabella Piper will come to the plate for the Lady Canes.
So 7 pitches in, she hasn't put anything over the plate that was really worth able to get a hit on, so kind of good job so far attacking the corners.
Yep, and you had that one pitch in the dirt that she chased, but other than that, she's been a little bit off on that series of pitches, but right there she starts off with a strike. She seems to start out strong to these hitters early. 0-1 to Piper. Fisackerly at first. 0-1. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Piper at the plate.
Tied with the team lead and with 12 walks, so Piper got a pretty good eye. And
actually has 12 RBIs on this.
Oh, I thought that was walks. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's fouled away. Right, she's one of the co-leaders.
Yep, tied with 7 for the on there. She has 12 RBIs.
Yeah, she has 12 RBIs. She also has 7 walks, which is third on the team, so she does have a good eye. You want good patience and a good eye from that number 3 hitter, and she's got that. And she's also a 368 hitter, so she hits for a high average. And that's a fly to right, and the right fielder, Emma Blanchard, runs and makes the catch over her left shoulder for the second out. So Fisackerly will stay at first, and we have 2 outs, runner on first, and Mackenzie Smith coming to the plate.
Yeah, I just chased it just a little bit outside, couldn't get a good part of the barrel on the ball, but, nice. Trying to go opposite field right there, just couldn't get the ball to go down.
So Smith, the designated player, she's the usual pitcher for Prairieville. She pitched a complete game yesterday in the loss to Dutchtown. As the ball gets away and Fisackerly steps back to first safely. She thought about it for a second, but that ball was not far enough away from the catcher for her to advance.
She's about halfway between first and second. I think if you made a decision, she could have gone either way.
Yes.
But, went back to first.
And one ball pitch is a strike. 1-1 to Mackenzie Smith. 371 on the season. Having a good senior season. We talked about her. She started last season as the starting pitcher for Sanoma, and she was replaced in the playoffs on the mound during their state championship run, and after her junior year decided to move over to Prairieville and be the starting pitcher over there. Count 1-2, and it's low, so to count even at 2-2. She's 3-1 on the season as a pitcher. We're going to see DeVere on the mound, though, the freshman.
Like you said, probably won't see her today unless it's in relief, and probably only if it's a very close game. But, doing a little starting off pretty well with the first batter, been a little bit more erratic with, the last 3.
Yes, high pitch count. This is her second 3-2 count. She had a 3-2 count to Fisackerly before the walk. And there's a drive to the gap. It's going to fall. It's going to go to the wall. And they're sending a runner home. Fisackerly, the throw to the plate is off, and she's safe. Throw back to second, safe, and a 2-out RBI double for Mackenzie Smith, and Prairieville takes the lead 1-0.
Good job right here hitting the cutoff, and a really good throw by the cutoff, but just not in time, and Prairieville able to get that first run, and good hit into the gap right there. And this is what happens whenever you don't get strikes, especially earlier in the count. This can set up things, even for a team that's very, very young.
Right.
You got to put the ball over the plate, and she did a good job of just putting it on the corners the first batter, but since then.
Yeah, the pitch count, and when you get a 3-2 pitch, you know that you're likely to get something near the plate, and that's what Smith got right there. They were talking about bringing in a courtesy runner, but then after Coach Schultz talked to the home plate umpire, I think they had a courtesy runner waiting to come in, and now it looks like she's going to come in, okay, because I was waiting for the switch, and then she took her helmet off and went back into the dugout. That is Asia Alley, number 20, a sophomore, who will run for Smith. So trying to get a little speed there to score on a base hit with 2 outs. We're in the top of the first. We have 1 run in for the Lady Canes, so it's 1-0. And the pitch to Lily Kinberger. The ball.
And they brought her in, and she is very much looking to advance on the base paths.
And a foul tip evens the count at 1. You have to be a little vigilant behind the plate and watch the home plate umpire because they're having trouble with the count up there on the scoreboard. 1-1, and that is fouled down the line. Hot shot just wide of third, and the count moves to 1-2.
A little bit out in front on that one, but just kind of what we've seen the last two batters. Been putting the ball a little bit too much over the plate, and you can't do that, especially when you get into the heart of the lineup, the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Those are the ones that want to drive in those runs.
That's right, and she's a .421 batter, and she has 12 RBIs as well. We talked about
lucky break right there as catcher overthrows second base. And I tell you,
yes,
she's who was it you said that was subbed in? It was
that was Allie. She doesn't have any stolen bases on the season.
I say Allie, but she is putting pressure on that catcher.
Yep, definitely fouled away right there.
And that's why you put in a base runner. You want to give. You want to put that into the head of the catcher, give them more to think about than just catching, just calling the pitch. You have that base runner on there, they have to think about they can run now.
So the count's 2-2. 2 outs, 1 run in. And count goes full. Third full count in this inning. That's Kinberger, Smith, and Fasakali all got full counts. And the first two reached base, one with a base hit and one with a double with an RBI. 3-2. And that's sky high to left in play. And the left fielder, Jackson, makes the catch. So the full count doesn't hurt the pitcher. And so fly to 7. And it's 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and 1 left on base. So we go to the bottom of the first, 1-0. Prairieville EA coming to bat, and the starting lineup, well, the batting order, I guess we should say, for East Ascension. Leading off, number 43, Caden Tullier. She's the third baseman. Batting second, Maya Lanu. Number 14, shortstop. Number 10, Mackenzie Creel bats third, designated player. Number 10, batting fourth is Avery Stevens. She is the catcher, number 55. Batting fifth, A.J. Johnson, first baseman, number 17. Batting sixth, Madison Stevens, second baseman, number 2. Batting seventh is Emma Blanchard, number 11. She is the right fielder. And then batting eighth, number 23, Adeline Bradbury. She plays center. And then the player who made the catch for the third out, Zakiah Jackson, the left fielder, number 4. She will bat ninth. And they will face the young freshman, Peyton DeVere, for the Lady Canes, who's getting her warm-up pitches in. Peyton DeVere, this is her 4th start of the season. She is second in the team in starts behind Mackenzie Smith, who has 7. DeVere is 1-0 on the season. She's only pitched 11.1 innings, though. She's far behind Mackenzie Smith, who's thrown 53.2 as the
leading off the bottom of the first.
Warm-up pitches are done, and we are ready for the first at-bat for the Lady Spartans, and leading off is Caden Tullier, and this is the one that we all look out for.
No, I got to meet Caden a few months ago. She actually started training at my gym, and one of the trainers there was working with her, and they told me she was trying to get into, I think, the Olympics. Yes. Is what she's training for, and just an incredible work ethic and wanting to get better, training in her off time. So,
and that is sky high. Will it be in play? The catcher's looking for it. Makes the catch.
Nope.
Or did she?
Nope. She dropped it.
Okay.
In the glove and out.
Oh, I could not see. I saw. Yes, I'm blocked a little bit. I should have stood up. I saw the glove and then didn't see it fall. So it's 0-2. And you got to make the play right there because when you're facing a 571 hitter, Skies it
That
up
one's
again.
coming up to us.
So now the count remains 0-2.
They're being aggressive going after her, not.
And a foul ball down the right field line, and it's going to fall harmlessly. DeRoche tried to make the play. So 2 foul balls in play. Prairieville couldn't make the play on either of them, and the ball goes back to DeVere as she steps back into the circle with no outs here in the bottom of the first. 0-2 in the dirt. She's got a couple of pitches to waste. And with Tuya, you don't want to give her something that she can swing at, because that's what she's really good at.
She's very aggressive. Very, very aggressive on the first 3-4 pitches. And you do have another one to waste here. You want to try and do something like maybe go down and away, even put it close to the dirt, just see if you can get her chasing.
And that's going to be caught by the third baseman, Piper, for the first out. And let's look at the defensive starters for Prairieville. And at first, it's Haley Fasackerly. At second, Lily Kinberger. At third, Isabella Piper. At short, Jordan Blanchard. In left, you have McKenna DeRoche. Parker LaDuff in center, Maddie Richard in right, Bristol James behind the plate, Peyton DeVere on the mound, and the first pitch is a strike to Maya Lanou.
So Smith, so far, very aggressive on the first pitch, both batters, and
good job by DeVere getting out one of the leading players in Ascension Parish. So the 1-1 pitch, or the 0-1 pitch is fouled away, so the count is 0-2. So Lanou, 0-2, fouls it away. So Lanou is hitting .314 on the season. She's got 7 RBIs, 3 doubles, 1 triple, and 8 stolen bases. You got several girls on this EA team that like to steal bases. So when they get on the base paths, they're very active as ball is high.
Showing bunt right there, just seeing if she can get a little easy hit.
And another foul, and it's out of play.
That one got the ticket booth.
So lots of foul balls. Mm-hmm. They like to get their swings in.
They are, but kudos to.
That one is deep to left, and it is off the wall over the head of DeRoche, and it's going to be a double, stand-up double for Maya Lanou. And Lanou gets her 4th double of the season. That flirted with going out the ballpark right there.
If the wind, right now you can kind of see the wind. It's blowing from left to right. Had the wind been just a little bit different, that ball only needed a couple of feet to get over that fence. So good running. Now we get to see Creel, who's the team leader with 25 RBIs.
And so that's a lot of RBIs for a team that's played about 10 games. And she's got an RBI opportunity right here, and that's fouled back over our heads, and we're going to hear it. There it is. It's going to hit our roof.
At this point, you have to ask, are they going to run out of softballs if they don't start getting the ones that hit out?
Yeah, well, fortunately, they're not hitting the street. And there's a ground ball to short, and the throw to first is off and safe. And Blanchard's throw to Fasackerly is off. I think they may rule that a hit, because it looked like she got there before the throw reached first base. I'm going to mark that as a hit. But Lanou stays at second with the ball hit on the left side of the infield. So now they have first and second with 1 out. And now we're going to see Avery Stevens, and the runners are advancing, and the throw to third, safe, and Lanou nearly overran the bag.
Yeah.
And that would have been a costly situation.
She kept that left hand on it, but, man, she almost slid right past it. But Good double steal right there and putting that pressure on Prairieville to make some good pitches. Only one out.
So we get the double steal, and both runners safe, and the pitch is a ball. So now the count is 2-0 with one out, and now a chance for Stevens to maybe give East Ascension the lead with a base hit right here. Count now moves to 2-1 after the strike. On the inside corner, 2-1. Low, count is 3-1. You've seen a lot of balls hit foul right here, so you can see they're seeing it well, they're making contact, and they're just kind of just a little bit off on them as you see ball 4, and the bases will be loaded.
Almost went around there, able to check her swing. But, I mean, for coming out so aggressive with the first two hitters, been a little bit more reserved now.
And they're going to appeal, and the umpire at short just called that a strike.
Okay. That was, I mean, it was a check swing. It was very close.
Yes, you were very observant on that one, and you were so observant the umpire agreed with you. And so now you get the fly ball pop up to the infield, and the third baseman Piper gets it. So what turned into a potential bases loaded walk now becomes the second out of the inning as Stevens flies out to Piper after the appeal on ball 4 was changed to a strike. And so now you have two outs. And A.J. Johnson's going to come to the plate.
That's big. I mean,
that's huge.
That's an inning-changing, game-changing play. I mean,
right.
You go from having 1 out, 3 on to, 2 outs, 2 on, and you're one good pitch away from getting out of this inning.
That was not that pitch. That was low.
No.
Tried to see if he could chase one early. So A.J. Johnson, the first baseman for EA. And that's a nice pitch right there, a strike. This is a good opportunity for a freshman to get some experience right here on the circle, or in the circle, we should say. Fouled away, guess what? And it's 1-2. That's probably about the 9th foul ball this half of the inning. Right now, East Ascension trailing 1-0 to Prairieville in the bottom of the first. 2 runners in scoring position, though. Base hit could give the Lady Spartans the lead.
Yeah, and if you're you want this inning to go on longer. Your pitcher threw a lot of pitches that first inning.
All high. 2-2. So, Tuier popped out for the first out. Then you had a double from Ladue. Creel got an infield hit as that one is fouled away. And then after the infield hit by Creel, you had a double steal. That got the runners on second and third. It looked like Stevens had a walk, but the umpire on appeal said that she went around, and then she wound up popping out to third. And the 2-2 is fouled off. So I think we've reached double digits, I'm pretty sure.
Well, had to have. I mean, that. And they're very, very aggressive. I mean, you can kind of see it. You don't bat with the average that this team has when you're not willing to be aggressive. And
they're getting their cuts in, that's for sure. And there's a fly to right, and it is caught by Maddie Richard for the third out. So an opportunity for EA goes awry. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the bottom, or the top of the second. It's 1-0 Prairieville. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
It all began in 1935, a new era in telecommunications, right here in Southeast Louisiana, born from the ambitions of several local families, with a clear vision and outlook focused on the future, connecting people across 10 parishes, one household at a time, powering an internet superhighway from the bayou to the river, built to deliver the speed and reliability every customer needs. We are REV, 90 years of building connections.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program: Precision Pools and Outdoors, Parish Engineering, Black Bayou Lending, OxyChem, the RV Shop, Innovative Orthotics and Prosthetics of Louisiana.
Top of the second, we are ready. Baker is already in the circle, and we're going to see 6, 7, and 8, Jordan Blanchard, McKenna DeRoche, and Bristol James for the Lady Canes, who lead 1-0 after an RBI double by Mackenzie Smith. And that's a base hit to right field. So now you see the Lady Canes being aggressive. We saw the Lady Spartans very aggressive in their half of the first, and now first pitch single by Jordan Blanchard.
Yeah, she's hitting 500 on the year, so good swing right there, able to get the ball over the second baseman, and you get a base runner on. So Prairieville coming out, they're not wanting to go down, and this is kind of where you said you have a pitcher who doesn't have a lot of experience on the mound. I don't know if this is her first start, but...
Well, no, she's played for about a year and about a month or so. She's a sophomore, but she started a lot as a freshman as they try to drop the sacrifice. And DeRoche is down 0-1. She pitched a lot last year. She struggled a lot because she's a freshman, and freshmen struggle. And she's come back and has improved, but she's still a sophomore, and so she's still learning a lot. And so, you know, both of these pitchers are young, and so you kind of expect a lot of hits and a lot of runs maybe today. That's a strike. And DeRoche is down 0-2 with Blanchard at first, nobody out. Top of the second, 1-0 Prairieville. Yeah,
and we'll see as the game goes on. I mean, especially in the later part of this lineup, there's not a lot of hitters in Prairieville's lineup toward the bottom of it that are going to be hitting in the 400 and 500. I mean, EA, I think the lowest one in their starting lineup hits 222, but they go all the way up to 571 with the leadoff. And there's really only 2 or 3 players in Prairieville's lineup that you're very, very worried about them putting good contact on the ball.
Yeah. DeRoche takes a ball, and it's 2-2. This entire Prairieville team is young. There's a senior, and you got maybe a couple of sophomores and juniors, but this is primarily freshmen. And there's a hit to the shortstop, and she is going to beat that out. It gets away, and the runners are going to third. They're going to send the runner home, and the runner's going to go to third. The run scores, and so you get an infield hit for DeRoche, and then you have a 2-base error on the throw from the shortstop, and so the runner will go at third, and the batter will go to third. Blanchard scores, and it's 2-0 Prairieville, and so that's a 2-base error, and that's real costly for the Lady Spartans.
That's huge. I mean, we think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but you never want to go down too much, and now with no outs.
And they're trying perhaps the safety squeeze right there, and it goes foul. DeRoche was watching the ball go foul, and I think she was kind of aware with the English what was going to happen there, and she did not sprint to the plate. But Prairieville gets a run, an unearned run, off a 2-base error, and now it's 2-0 Lady Canes.
Yep, with only 1 senior, 2 juniors, 7 sophomores, and 15 freshmen.
Yep.
So this will be a team like we've talked about with all of them. You're going to have to watch out for them in a couple of years.
Yeah. Not a lot of seniors came. You had the choice to opt in if you wanted to, or you could stay at Dutchtown, Santa Ma, or East Ascension if you wanted to. And most of the seniors stayed at their previous school, especially the athletes. As a drive to the pitcher, and they're going to go to the plate, and the throw is in the dirt, and the runner is safe, and it's 3-0 on the fielder's choice.
So you can see, and now Coach Rick is going to come out. Watch the indecisiveness right here. What do I do? What do I do? That moment of indecision, and like you said, coming from a young pitcher, it made the big difference right there. Right there in that position, go to first. Just get the first out. You're going to give up that run, but that's a hard throw to make if you're the pitcher, if you're not immediately wanting to make it to the catcher.
And so it's 3-0. And going back to the point with all the sophomores and freshmen on the Lady Canes team, in most sports we're going to see a courtesy runner, and we'll try to get that number. It's hard to see blue on blue, so I didn't quite get it right there, but we're going to have a courtesy runner at first for James. But most athletes in all the sports, especially the seniors and the juniors, stayed at their previous school. Now, the one exception, probably the biggest exception that you saw, was the pitcher Mackenzie Smith for Prairieville, who came from Santa Ma, and that was the situation we were talking about. She was a starting pitcher for Santa Ma last season, and then she was replaced in the playoffs, and she's a senior, and she wanted to pitch for her senior season. So she came to Prairieville, and she's been doing a good job for them. So that type of situation you may move over, but most of the other people did not. As you see the first pitch to Maddie Richard.
Yeah, and most people who watch high school sports know this, but there are not a lot of freshmen and sophomores that are just absolute phenoms that come in and you can stack a team with them.
Right.
Most of these teams are, you see it across at every sport, basketball, football, baseball, softball. Teams will have typically 4 to 6 seniors that are making a big impact in baseball. And they're people that their kids have been playing it, they know it, they're more physically mature than everyone else. And Prairieville's just very young. But they've got a couple of players that are making some good impacts, and they've got a lot of players that are going to be coming up behind them.
And meanwhile, Richard builds up a 3-0 count. And so you have nobody out. 2 runs are already in. Runner on first, James reached on a fielder's choice. You had a hit to right field by Blanchard. Then you had an infield single by DeRoche with a 2-base error that scored Blanchard. As you see, a strike called. On the 2-base error, DeRoche moved to third, and then she scored on the ground ball to the pitcher by James as the pitcher went to the plate, and the runner was able to get in before a tag, and it's 3-0. And that's ball 4. So 4 straight base runners for Prairieville.
And those, unfortunately, just weren't even close pitches. Those were out of the zone by a foot. So just really hoping right now you want her to calm down and just start putting the ball over the plate. Don't put it directly over. You want to give them, but you need to start putting the ball over the plate. She needs to start building that confidence back up of seeing a few pitches get over the plate, some strikes get called, or even if she gets some swings and misses.
Missed again. And this is the top of the lineup. So she gave up base runners to the 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Now you're at the top of the lineup. And now it's LaDuff, who grounded to short for the first out in the first inning. And we're in the second, and she's already got her second at-bat. 2-0. Just having trouble finding the plate right now. Kind of got rattled a little bit. You saw 3 full counts and a walk in that first inning.
Yeah, just take your time.
And that's high again. Yeah, she's off. And here comes the coach. Coach Tony, I think, is going to make a change. And she is. So we're going to keep it here as you see the pitching change coming in. And that's number 10. So that's Mackenzie Creel. And Creel was the designated player.
Number 10, Mackenzie.
And so she'll just take the mound now. So Baker will sit.
So get some warm-up pitches here and see if you can turn it around. I mean, Coach Ricka really does not want to – you don't want to drop a district game.
Yeah.
Especially one that you really were hoping to win and maybe be able to throw a fresh arm and not use up some of the bigger arms on your team. But
yeah, and you got to change in the middle of this at-bat because the count is 3-0, and I'm sure she told Creel, Coach Ricka did, to throw a strike right here because we can't load the bases and then have Fasackerly, Piper, and Smith coming up right behind you. Because you're seeing 2, 3, and 4 with nobody out, and the Ducks are on the pond if they give up a walk right here. 3-0. Ball 4. 4-pitch walk from 2 different pitchers, mind you.
That's a tough ask, though. Come in with a 3-0 count, and we need you to throw strikes.
Yeah. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out, so that's 5 in a row on base for Prairieville. You had 2 singles, 2 walks, and a fielder's choice. There's a strike. So Fasackerly, she scored the first run of the game in the first inning after a walk, and she scored on the double by Mackenzie Smith.
Creel, who's thrown for 33 innings so far this season, now coming in to throw this.
And offered right there, and so now the count's 0-2. That was kind of interesting because it looked like James at third was still on the bag. So that was not a squeeze right there, I don't believe. Inside. 1-2 is the count. Nobody out. Bases loaded. 2 runs are in. Prairieville leads 3-0.
Now the one good thing that bunt attempt does is you look at the first and third. Look how much farther up they're coming.
And they hit it to Touye and throw to the plate for the out. So James is out 5-2. Runners advance. Fasackerly reaches on a fielder's choice. And so we have 1 out, and we have Richard at third, LaDuff at second, Fasackerly at first, and Piper at the plate. Piper flew out to right. And on deck you have Smith, who hit the double RBI earlier. That pitch nearly hit her. So Piper is ahead. 1 ball, no strike. That was a big play right there by Touye.
That was. Really took away, you take away that lead runner. There's still 3 on.
And that is going to be a double play as that ball is lined to the shortstop, and Lanu makes a big play and then doubles up Richard at third, 6-5 for the double play. And so you have 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. And so we go to the bottom of the second, and it's 3-0. And we're going to turn it over to Jonathan. He's going to talk about what's going on this week.
Yeah, this week at the 5-5A softball, today we're at Prairieville playing at East Ascension's field. And also going on today is Walker playing at Santa Maula, and that's going to be a good game right there. Walker, who's 7-3 right now on the record, 2-0 in district, going up against Santa Maula, who's hoping to go 2-0. So that's going to be a good game. Live Oak also playing at Denham Springs, and like we had talked about earlier, Live Oak, one of those teams that you don't want to go to sleep on. They were in the playoffs last year and did very, very good. And you look at our themes Thursday, the 13th, we're going to have Santa Maula at EA, the
big one,
the old rivalry. And I don't care what the record of those teams are. It's always a tough game. And the other 2 coming up, we're going to be also watching Denham Springs at Dutchtown. Prairieville is going to be playing at Live Oak, and Ascension Catholic going to be playing at Dutchtown as well.
So a lot of action as you get into the district play for 5-5A. Right now you see the pop up by Stevens, caught by the first baseman Fasackerly, as Stevens makes the first out. Second baseman pops to first, and the number 6 hitter is retired. In this inning, you're going to see 6, 7, and 8. 6 makes the first out. 7 is the right fielder, Emma Blanchard. Then you're going to see Adeline Bradbury on deck. So now Blanchard comes to the plate and a swing and a miss. So Blanchard, she's hitting .529 on the season. She's just a little tick behind Touye. Fouled away. The count is 0-2. So far, DeVere has done all right. She had second and third with 1 out and pitched her way out of it.
Yeah, and I mean, she's got she might have a 6.84 ERA so far, but she's gone up against the best that EA has to throw and been able to do okay against them so far. And 3-0 Prairieville, and that's a good lead. You want that going in to this, especially with a team that can put up some runs. You want to be able to stack up as many as you can early.
And it looks like actually there's been a pitching change. So We were talking about we may not see Mackenzie Smith today. She's there. She's on the mound.
Well, we had also said if it was a close game,
yep,
we might see her out there. So,
and a swing and a miss for the second out. And so Smith has actually come in for DeVere and got the first 2 outs. And I guess if you're Coach Scholes right here, you got a 3-run lead on East Ascension, and you need to not go 0-3 in district.
Mm-hmm.
So you got your shot right here. Let's use Smith right now. And so first pitch to Bradbury. It's a ball.
And softball, not like baseball, pitchers can throw a lot more pitches in softball. It's a much more natural range of motion whenever you're throwing a softball from the mound or from the circle than it is throwing from a pitch and mound. But really looking forward to seeing if she can not only keep them in this. I mean, they so far have had an answer for EA's lineup with their defense and some good pitching.
This game has gone Prairieville's way so far, and now she's walked Bradbury on 4 pitches, and so. When you spotted 3 runs, take your chances with your ace. I think that's the attitude right here as Bradbury reaches, and now Zakiah Jackson will come to the plate. And there's a drive to left toward the gap, and it's off the wall, and this is going to score 1. And like the runner's going to go to third, and it's 3-1 after the triple by Zakiah Jackson. And so, just like that, it's 3-1 after the RBI triple from the number 9 hole hitter, Zakiah Jackson, as that was driven all the way to the wall. And
yeah, great hit right there, and just defense not able to come up with the ball, and when it bounced up the fence, took a bad bounce, able to get her in there for a triple. Now you still have 2 outs, so you're 1 out away from going in with a 3-1 lead going into the third third inning. But you gotta
get Touye out though.
Yep.
That's the hard part, and that's driven foul. Yep. That would have been extra bases.
Mm-hmm.
And flirted with an RBI double.
Yep. They're aggressive.
Yep.
They are aggressive. They're going to take some swings.
Touye popped out to third for the first out of the game. 0-2. And that's foul again. So she's jumping up ahead of that.
Mm-hmm.
Got her timing off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
See if she can straighten that out. Maybe be a little more patient. Wait for that pitch a tick longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you might even see Prairieville. I mean, this is an opportunity to kind of maybe throw one.
That's a base hit. That's an RBI for Touye. And it's 3-2. East Ascension fighting back. Both teams have 2 runs this inning. So count 0-2, and you get the base hit right up the middle. She found her timing right there as the infield was shading toward a pull, and it just went right up the middle. Now Touye steals second very easily. That's her 14th.
Just right over the plate. Just right over the plate for Touye, and she's able to take it right up the middle.
And after the strike to Lanou, she steals second. Popped up foul. So 0-2. So now an RBI opportunity for Lanou.
I think this might be the most foul balls I've seen hit through 2 innings in softball.
Yep. She looks like she's showing bunt, but pitch is high. She wasn't going to bunt. Now the delayed steal, and that's 2 stolen bases, and Touye is at third. And with all this experience she's had with USA softball, she's smart, and she knows what to do right there. As you take the ball, and now she's going to come to the plate, and she is out at the plate, 1-2, as she tried to catch them sleeping but could not, and so that's the third out of the inning. So Lanu will come back to the plate. You got 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors and nobody left. And so it's 3-2. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Agape School of Baton Rouge is a kindergarten through 8th grade school. Our mission is to educate the whole child, spiritually, emotionally, and cognitively. It is a Christ-centered environment where we know them. We use technology in our classrooms to enrich the education experience, and Rev made that happen for us. It was an incredibly quick turnaround service coming into our new facility. If you're a business looking for technology, I would highly recommend Rev.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program. State Farm Insurance Agent Adam McCarty. Ross Downing Buick GMC Gonzalez. Athletic Center. Our Lady of the Lake Health. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation.
Top
of the third at East Ascension. It's 3-2 Prairieville. We got a fun one so far. It looks like it's going to be a high-scoring game here in Gonzales as 4, 5, and 6 are coming to the plate. That's Smith, Kinberger, and Blanchard. And the first pitch to Smith is a ball. So Smith got everything started with the RBI double in the first that gave Prairieville the lead, a lead they have not given up so far. There's a grounder to third. Tullier to Johnson, 5-3 for the easy out. And so 1 out, and Lily Kinberger is going to come to the plate. She flew to left.
Yeah. Tullier not only stealing bases, making hits.
Yeah.
She has a cannon.
And Coach Tony at the end of that inning was kind of questioning the call at the plate, as if you didn't catch what was going on, she got the base hit in the RBI, then she stole second, then she had the delayed steal of third on the throw back to the pitcher, and then she came home on the throw back to the pitcher, but the pitcher, Smith, paid attention, got it right back, and fired home for the out at the plate. Maybe got a little greedy right there. From our vantage point, it looked like she was out. I don't know if Coach Tony agreed with that.
Yeah, I think it was just a heads-up play by Mackenzie Smith. She got that ball back to the catcher, and on the replay and up here, it looked like she was out.
2-0, swing and a miss. 2-1 to
Good
Kinberger.
Pitch by Creel right there.
Yep. Creel has come in relief of Savannah Baker, who was having trouble getting the ball over the plate in the second, and Coach Tony had to make a quick change and got him out the inning. And a ground ball to Tullier, and that's going to just handcuff her, and that's going to be an infield hit
for Kinberger. Hard bounce right there. Tullier tried to field it, but did good just to keep the ball in front of her and not let it get into the outfield from possibly a double.
And so Blanchard comes to the plate. She reached on a base hit and wound up scoring on an error from second. And first pitch is a ball. Blanchard is one of the 2 players that you are going to see for Prairieville that, well, as you see the bouncer to second, or to short, and another error, and it goes into right field, and the runner's going to come home, and here's a throw to the plate, safe, and the runner, the hitter reaches second on the throw to the plate, so that is going to be a run scored for Prairieville. Now it's 4-2, and that's going to be another 2-base error, and so that's another error on the shortstop right there. So you have Kinberger who scores on the throw from short, Blanchard reaches second on the error, and it's 4-2.
That's a tough play right there. And, Coach Ricka is – you have to hit the cutoff.
Yeah.
Right there, that's where you hit the cutoff. And if you do that, it probably stops that play. But just kind of we saw it earlier, that moment of indecision can cost you runs. And right now that moment of indecision has kind of cost 2 runs for EA.
And there's a swinging bunt and a throw to first. So DeRoche is out 1-3. Blanchard advances to third. I was talking about Blanchard a minute ago, and I wanted to mention that Blanchard and Kalen Sheets and a couple of other players on this softball team were late additions because they were on the basketball team that made the playoffs. And so since they've joined the team, they've improved a lot, and you have a couple of players that are in the starting lineup as you have the bouncer to second and the throw to first in time. 4-3, so that's Stevens to Johnson for the third out. So that's a quick inning, but Prairieville gets a run on 1 hit, 1 error, costly error, and 1 left on base. So now we go to the bottom of the third, and it's 4-2 Prairieville, as we're now going to look at what's going to be happening in Santa Maria next weekend.
Yeah, coming up next week, the 18th annual Santa Maria Invitational, March 14th and 15th. It's going to be at Butch Gore Park in fields 1 through 4. There's 19 teams, which that's exciting, man. 19 teams, including Santa Maria, EA, Prairieville, all going to be there. The game times are going to be Friday at 3:30, 5:30, and 7:30 p.m. And then Saturday, you're going to have games starting at 10 a.m., going at noon, 2, and 4. And, 8th annual Santa Maria Invitational. That's going to be a lot of fun.
So when you look at the schedule, on Friday, East Ascension is going to play 5:30 against Opelousas Catholic, and that's at Butch Gore 3. Prairieville is going to play at 5:30 against Barb at Butch Gore 4. Then at 10 on Saturday at Butch Gore 4, Prairieville plays Oak Grove. At noon Saturday at Butch Gore 1, you're going to have East Ascension at Hahnville. And then at 4 o'clock on Butch Gore 3, you're going to see North DeSoto and Prairieville. And then you're going to see on Butch Gore 4, Sam Houston and East Ascension. And so that's the schedule, at least for those teams. Now, Santa Maria is going to be playing some games, too. As on Friday, Santa Maria is going to play Destrehan. And on Saturday, Santa Maria is going to play Opelousas Catholic and Airline. So a busy schedule.
Yeah, it's coming up this weekend, too. I mean, that's going to be fun.
Yes.
You always got to
I said next weekend, it's this weekend.
It's always fun whenever you get all these teams coming together, getting to play like this, and there's a lot of rivalry. And I mean, Santa Maria and EA are going to be in there, but
yeah,
looking forward to just going out there and having fun. It's supposed to be a nice weekend too, so beautiful weather.
Yep, as a pop-up right at the plate, and the catcher can't get it, and it goes foul. So right now, with Smith in the circle, you have 2, 3, and 4 coming up, Lanou, Creel, and Stevens. You may recall Lanou was at the plate with a 2-strike count, and actually a 1-2 count, and that was when Touye tried to steal home but was caught at the plate. So now she gets an all-new at-bat, and ball is called. Lost track of the count there.
I think it's 2-1 right now.
That sounds about right. I'm going to go with that. 2-1. Grounded to third through the legs of Piper. That was just way too hot, and she's going to be held to a single as the throw comes to Kimberger at second. That was super hot right there.
We've seen EA make some good contact with the ball.
Yep. So that's 2 for 2 for Lanou. She's got a double and a single. And now the designated player, Creel, who's now on the mound, actually. And a steal attempt, and she gets there easily.
Yeah, a little bit of tough exchange right there for the catcher, getting the ball from glove to hand. But EA also, I mean, it's one thing I've noticed about this EA team, aggressive swinging and aggressive on the base paths. I mean, they've already got, I think it's 4 steals, so.
Yeah. They're going to steal a lot of bases. We talked about that. swing and a miss. As a fly ball to center field, and LeDuff makes the catch. Didn't have to move very far for that one.
Now batting number 55.
So that's the first out of the
Avery
inning.
Stevens.
Ledoux stays at second. Now Avery Stevens, who popped to third. So Smith has come in relief of DeVere, who pitched the first.
And she's throwing it well this inning.
Yep, and there's a strike.
I mean, that first ball was hit hard, but she's pitching it pretty well.
Pitch high, 1-1. So far, it's been very active, as the only half inning where a run was not scored was the bottom of the first. It's 4-2.
Try with a little off speed right there.
Yep, 2-1. Prairieville scored 1 in the first, as it's popped up to third. Catch made by Piper. And there's 2 out, and A.J. Johnson will try to bring Lanou home with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. So to recap the scoring, Prairieville had 1 in the first. EA could not answer. Then in the top of the second, Prairieville got 2 more to make it 3-0. Then East Ascension scored 2 to make it 3-2. And Prairieville got another run in the third. That's where we stand right now, 4-2 Prairieville. As the first pitch to Johnson is a strike.
There was a tough sequence of pitches on that last one, that off-speed coming with a fastball. And
grounder to short and a throw to first. Blanchard to Sackerly in time. And this side is retired. No runs on 1 hit and no errors, 1 left. So we go to the fourth. It's 4-2 Prairieville. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
At Farm Bureau of St. James, we say real service, real people, and it's more than just a slogan. We're a multi-line, local insurance company doing business in all 64 parishes in Louisiana. We live here, our customers are our neighbors, and this allows us to tailor coverage to their specific needs. Everything we do is database driven, and having reliable phone and internet service is critical. REV is our technology partner, and they deliver great customer service. If you need the technology, why not deal with your neighbor? If you want a true partner, REV Business is the way to go.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program: Precision Pools and Outdoors, Parish Engineering, Black Bayou Lending, OxyChem, the RV Shop, Innovative Orthotics and Prosthetics of Louisiana.
Go to the top of the fourth at East Ascension. Prairieville leads 4-2. We're going to see 9-1-2, Richard, LeDuff, and Fisackerly for the Lady Canes, who have scored in every inning so far. Kind of a bit of a surprise, as the team that is 0-2 in district leads the team that's 2-0 in district right now, 4-2. But still plenty of time. Creel in relief in the circle. First pitch, a strike. She's done a good job. She gave up that unearned run in the third, but other than that, she's done an outstanding job.
Yeah, coming in, I mean, it's a tough ask. Bases loaded. Yeah. You know, we need to take care of this.
As a grounder to Tullier, over to Johnson, 5-3 for the first out.
Yeah, she's definitely brought some stability to that. But like you said, this Prairieville team, really since I think you said it was Sheets and Blanchard have come back, they've been a very different team. I mean, this record might look different if those two weren't in basketball playoffs. Mm-hmm. So
first pitch is a ball, as LeDuff has her third plate appearance. She's 0 for 1 with a walk, grounded to short, walked, got to second. And there's a grounder, and the third baseman will take it, and the throw, and another 5-3, Tullier to Johnson for the second out. Got an update with Santa Maria and Walker. Right now, Santa Maria leads Walker 6-5 in the bottom of the 6th. So the other 2-0 team is also down.
Sorry, number 5.
And so after today, these scores can hold. You might have a big change in 5-5A standings. So let's see what happens. Fly ball to center and an easy out for Bradbury. So that's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Prairieville. This is the first inning they didn't score.
Yeah.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left, and so we go to the bottom of the 4th, and it's 4-2. Lady Canes lead the Lady Spartans, and we'll keep it here, and we'll turn it over to Jonathan.
Yep, coming up in this week, this is our upcoming live stream schedule for the REV Sports on YouTube. This Thursday, we're going to have Dutchtown at Prairieville High School. It's going to be a baseball matchup. Yep. That one's going to be good right there. Dutchtown's always fun to get to watch in baseball. Then Tuesday, Santa Maria at Dutchtown. Once again, baseball. That's going to be on the 18th. And then on the 25th, we're going to have EA here again, but it's going to be at Prairieville in baseball.
Yep.
And then Saturday, the 29th, we're going to have Dutchtown at Santa Maria. That's going to be a softball broadcast, one of those rare Saturday games. And so it's going to be we got a fun upcoming schedule. Got some tough teams in this district.
Right.
As we said, this is a tough district for baseball.
I'll be on
a lot of good players in baseball in this district.
Absolutely. I'll be on the air for that East Ascension Prairieville game. I will be at the Dutchtown Prairieville game on Thursday, but I will be a spectator. As that's going to be.
I was about to say, which team are we cheering for?
I work for Prairieville right now.
Now?
Yeah, but I worked at Dutchtown for 15 years, and my daughter is still a junior at Dutchtown. So,
are you a house divided? Do you have one of those blankets that's got the big lightning bolt down the middle? It's green on one side, purple on the other.
So I kind of represent two schools. So that's a ball, 1-1, and this is 6, 7, and 8. Stevens, Blanchard, and Bradbury.
I'm looking forward.
As you see a base hit right there, as it's a single for Madison Stevens, and now you can tell us what you're looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to Jackson getting back up, that 9-hole hitter who that was a good hit that she had in that last at-bat.
Right.
And if there's a couple people on in front of her, she's going to bring them home, but just really good contact with the ball.
Well, unless they get this base runner out, she could possibly come to the plate right here as she is in the hole, as we say. So it counts 0-1 as the bunt goes foul. Blanchard struck out her first at bat. Smith in relief of DeVere in her third inning. Inside. And Stevens looked like she might go. They've been stealing bases a lot this game, and so they're kind of, I think Prairieville's aware and are kind of alert, and they're going to drop the bunt, and it rolls foul. So may have taken the bunt away from this right here with the 2-strike count. As it's 1-2 to Blanchard. Stevens on first for East Ascension, trying to get some runs and get a little closer to the Lady Canes. They trail 4-2.
It is kind of surprising with how aggressive they've been.
There's a base hit.
That they haven't stolen that one.
And that was unfortunate that the center fielder, LaDuff, couldn't grab it, because they might have been able to get Stevens at second, because she had to hold up for a second to make sure that ball wasn't caught. And if LaDuff could have grabbed it and thrown to second very quickly, there was a chance. But that's irrelevant because both of them are on base. So back-to-back base hits. And you'll see a ball right there to Bradbury. So Jackson is on deck. Looks like you're going to get your chance to see her.
Yeah, that was a good hit. It's one of my favorite sounds is when you have good contact on the ball. That hard hit.
Yep. And it's dropped foul. 1-1.
Yeah, there's in baseball, softball, there's just a few sounds that when you have a good hard contact and then when that ball snaps in the glove, that's just good wholesome sounds right there. And
I prefer the sound of wood, but the sound of aluminum is okay to me too.
It is, but
I'm a purist.
It would be interesting. I would love to see if they brought wood back into the ranks of high school and colleges. I'm kind of like you. That's my favorite thing about Major League Baseball is the snap of the bat.
Yep.
But it would be interesting to see if they brought it back. I mean, you'd have less home runs and things like that, obviously, but.
So you just saw right there, too, the sacrifice bunt. So now you have 2 runners in scoring position for Jackson, who takes the ball. So Bradbury was out on the sack 3-4. And now Jackson, who has an RBI today. She has a chance to tie this game.
And I don't know if we have stats on her, unless.
Yeah, I believe she's marked under a different name. She's hitting 371.
Okay.
If you see the ball on the inside corner, yes, so, wearing the same number, but they have her listed as a different last name.
Yeah, so she's hitting 371, got 421 on base, and
fouled away. So 2-2.
I just like her swing.
Yep, she has one of 2 RBIs today. Touye has the other RBI for the Lady Spartans. If she gets a couple of RBIs right here, this game will be tied. 1-2, and changeup got her. Very eager, and got ahead of that pitch.
She was, and that just. You kind of could see that her timing wasn't really good on that one. She's trying to go for that little show and bunt, but the timing just wasn't there for her swing.
Yeah.
But now we get to see Touye.
She's 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. And that's a drive to the gap, and that's off the wall. This game is tied. 4-4 on the bases, clearing double. Just missed the fence right there, over the fence, I should say. So that's 3 RBIs on the day for Caden Touye, and our score is 4-4. This has been a good one so far.
That ball was about 5 feet from being a home run.
Yep. Good contact, and now Lanu.
And I don't think they want to give up another stolen base to her. They are.
Yeah.
That catcher almost handed the ball to the pitcher right there.
Mm-hmm. 2 outs. Go-ahead run is on second. And you know she can run.
Oh, yeah. I think she has 2 steals this game, right? So I mean, it's 15 on the season.
Absolutely. So 2 runs are in with 2 outs. And
catcher's just holding her every play.
And you have Lanu, who's 2 for 2, and so you know that she's not going to get anything good to swing at.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a strike. As a throw to third in the dirt, safe. That's 16 stolen bases. As the count now moves to 3-1. I thought for a moment she might be getting one of those intentional walks.
Mm-hmm.
But you got the strike right there. Ball 4. So she has reached base 3 times in 3 at-bats. They have runners at first and third with 2 outs and 2 runs in. And now the pitcher, Creel,
who leads the team in RBIs, now up with 2 on.
25.
That is a lot of RBIs. I think what did we say, 12 games in?
Something to that effect.
We're 10, 12 games in.
About 10 games
25 RBIs.
And the runner steals second, and they go to third instead. So they concede the base.
They just told you, you're not taking home.
Right. And so now you got second and third with 2 outs. Creel takes a ball. In the dirt. Another ball. 3-0.
And I mean, you do have first base open.
Yeah.
So
and who do you avoid right here? That's the problem. You don't. There's a good hitter in every spot as a strike is called.
Yeah. You're right.
Stevens is on deck. She's popped up twice.
And
she's a 359 hitter.
Yeah, and she has 14 RBIs. So,
and there's a walk. But you get a force at every base.
Mm-hmm.
Bases loaded, brings up number 55,
so now, if you get
Stevens.
extra bases right here, this game could change very quickly.
And
I think that's what Coach Scholes is detecting right now. This might be the most important at bat of this ball game.
Yeah. Because realistically, Mackenzie Smith is in there because you want a district win for this. And if this is one of the things, if you're a coach, you're right now saying, hey, we got to force at every base, go home first, second, wherever the easiest out is for you. We've trained for, we've drilled for this. And now on the other side, you're thinking, if you're also a coach, you're saying if we give up a lot of runs here, Smith is probably done for the day. Mm-hmm. And we'll bring in somebody else. But
we see a courtesy runner coming in.
Got a courtesy runner, number 31.
That's 31, Hartley Berthelot. And so now Stevens, like we said, she's popped up twice. 2 outs. So either this will be the third out or a run is going to score. Those are the two most likely options. Strike.
Good first pitch. Both these pitchers, her and Creel, they've got some heat.
Yep.
They can move the ball.
0-1, 2 outs, bases loaded, tie game high. 1-1.
Now you're not as worried right here about Tullier stealing, but it's not completely out of the realm of possibilities. But
no, but if that gets away from the catcher, she's gone. 2-1. There's a drive to left and an RBI. Second run will score, and it's a 6-4 lead as the ball gets away, and the hitter Stevens gets to second. And so a 2 RBI single, and that's 4 runs this inning, and it's 6-4 East Ascension, and they've got runners on second and third, so this inning's still not over yet. So far, 4 runs on 4 hits.
Yeah, that was a good hit right there, and
it's a solid single.
Yeah, just a good solid single, and able to get in 2 runs, and she turned it into, she was able to get the second, but
the cutoff was kind of bobbled as they wanted to keep the runner from advancing to second, but when the cutoff player bobbled it, that got her there, and the pitch is low for a ball. So this is the 9th hitter this inning, A.J. Johnson. Popped the first, grounded to short. Fouled. 1-1. So 4 runs. East Ascension has the lead.
And you got to wonder how much longer we'll see Smith now. I mean, they'll probably...
Foul ball.
Oh, wow.
Caught a break right there.
Yeah.
It would have been tough to beat her out.
Yeah, unless she saw it go foul, that was...
Yeah, I think that's what she was...
Okay.
Yeah, you wanted...
That's gutsy play, if not.
Yep. Her whole body was almost out in foul territory.
But now, like we had talked about, now if you're coaching, you're going out there and you're looking at the team, you need to know how we're going to do in this next inning. And if they don't put up any runs and are not able to...
well, they're not going to give up a run right there because you got the strikeout for the third out on a nice inside pitch. 4 runs on 4 hits. You have no errors, and you have 2 left where it's 6-4 East Ascension with the lead. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
It all began in 1935, a new era in telecommunications, right here in Southeast Louisiana, born from the ambitions of several local families, with a clear vision and outlook focused on the future. Connecting people across 10 parishes, one household at a time. Powering an internet superhighway from the bayou to the river, built to deliver the speed and reliability every customer needs. We are REV, 90 years of building connections.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program. Precision Pools and Outdoors, Parish Engineering, Black Bayou Lending, OxyChem, the RV Shop, Innovative Orthotics and Prosthetics of Louisiana.
Welcome back to the Rev Game of the Week. It's 6-4. East Ascension leads Prairieville in softball. Jeff Porsche, Jonathan Moore with you. 3-4-5 coming up for Prairieville. Piper, Smith, and Kinberger. They're facing Mackenzie Creel in relief.
The wind is picked up tremendously.
Yep.
Coming
out
from
towards,
left to right.
Toward right center, looks like.
And had the wind not been there, we probably would have seen those 3 balls that hit the fence.
Yeah. If that wind is blowing out to left center, there was 2 of them that may have gone. Ball. So if East Ascension can hold on and get the win, they would have a half-game lead in district because Santa Maria just gave Walker their first district loss, 7-5. So Walker drops to 2-1 in district. Santa Maria's 2-0. There's a drive to the left, and it's right to Zakiah Jackson for the first out. So she took it for a ride, but Jackson played it perfectly. So 1 up and 1 down. Mackenzie Smith will come to the plate. Now, Santa Maria, with that win, they're 2-0 in district. So technically right now, Santa Maria and East Ascension are tied. If East Ascension wins today, they would move to 3-0 and have a half-game lead by virtue of that third win.
Does the game they're playing at the park this weekend, does that count in district, or is that like it is during basketball? You're only allowed to count certain matchups?
Those teams aren't playing head-to-head at the Butch Gore this weekend.
Okay.
No, so they're all getting other opponents, so there will be no district games. There won't need to be no head-to-heads.
Gotcha.
1 out. Oh, that's high. Kind of a mistimed that one. 1-1 to Smith. She doubled, had an RBI in the first. Grounded third. In the third.
Active with their chance this game, both teams.
Yep. And there's a drive to short through the glove of Lanou for base hit. That was a rocket. And you can't blame Lanou for that one, as that came at her at a high rate of speed, and she tried to get it, but she could not.
I mean, she couldn't even move out of the way.
Yep.
Was that who was that hitting? That was
Smith.
Just a good, hard hit. Smith, who's hitting 371 on the year. I mean,
yeah, and you got Allie, I believe, that's in the running for her right now. Now Kinberger at the plate. And so there's a ball. One and one, 1 out, runner on first. Anyway, it's a grounder to third, and they go to second for the force. So 5-3 force. Fielder's choice reaches for Kinberger. And so with 2 outs here in the 5th inning, we're going to have Jordan Blanchard at the plate with a runner at first.
She's been doing pretty good this year since she came back from basketball. So
singled, reached for an error.
Chased right there.
0-1. Creel has been in a groove. Gave up the unearned run in the third. There's a grounder foul. She saved the game. I tell you what, Coach Tony got her in at the right time with that 3-0 count and then walked to load the bases. But after that, you had the fielder's choice and then the double play on the liner to Lemieux. And she got out of that inning, or else it could have been a disaster.
Yeah, we'd be looking at a very different score potentially. So good coaching and good job. Oh.
And as I say that, she hits Blanchard.
That's about the third time we've said a nice thing about the pitcher. And
can't compliment anybody. First and second now.
Just can't win.
Yep. Well, baseball's a long game. You're not going to throw a perfect game. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
So you're going to make some mistakes. And now with 2 outs, you got DeRoche coming up.
I've played softball and I've played baseball. That is not an easy thing.
Nope.
There are not many things you do in life where you fail 7 out of the 10 times you try it, and you're still considered one of the best in the world to do it.
Yep.
Not many things.
Two on, 2 out. And a swing and a miss from DeRoche. And there's 2 strikes. So Creel 1 pitch away from getting out of trouble here and keeping East Ascension in the lead.
DeRoche only a 100 hitter. It's only her 5th plate appearance so far this season.
Yeah, doesn't have a lot of opportunities yet, so that's kind of understandable.
I think she's one of those freshmen.
Yep. Young players learning on the fly. Ball. And they're going to try to go to third, and the ball gets away. And so now you got opportunity, if DeRoche can get a hit, to tie this game. So now you got a 2-2 count. 2 outs, 2 on. And that is over the head and caught. The snow cone catch by Blanchard, who was playing way in right and had the perfect spot for the 3rd out. That's a big play right there. Saved 2 runs. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 left. And so we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th, and it is 6-4, East Ascension with the lead. And Prairieville coming up. They got that big game coming up on Thursday. What's the rest of their schedule look like?
So upcoming Prairieville schedule, we got Dutchtown at Prairieville High School, and I believe that is the district opener coming in for baseball. So that's going to be exciting. And then Tuesday the 25th, we have EA at Prairieville. That's going to be baseball. And then on the 1st, we're going to have EA at Prairieville in softball. And then Tuesday the 8th at 6:30 p.m., we're going to have Prairieville High School at Santa Maria. That is going to be baseball. But come on, this Thursday we got district opening baseball happening with Dutchtown at Prairieville.
That's not just district opening. That's the first ever district game for Prairieville High School in baseball. So that's a big deal. And it's going to be a lot of fun out there. I'm going to be out there most probably, unless something strange happens, just watching the game. I want to get back to, we'll talk about that some more. I want to get back to that play.
That was a great
We just
play.
saw Emma Blanchard might have just saved the game for East Ascension. She's the right fielder. And in order for you to keep that from dropping, you had to play way in. And so they were expecting a drive in that direction, perhaps, as she had her play perfectly. Because if you play routine outfield right there, that's a two RBI single. So you got to give credit to Blanchard. You got to give credit to the coaches who had the positioning perfect.
Yeah,
in
that play,
situation.
I mean, that ball was this close. That was an inch from popping out of her glove.
Absolutely.
She's able to secure it with her right hand as she makes the catch with her left. But just a great job right there by her. And like you said, that's a game-changing play. I mean, if that run drops, Prairieville's back in this game. It's a tie game. They're about to come up trying to take the lead.
Madison Stevens is at the plate, down 2-0 is Smith. Now 3-0. It's 6, 7, and 8. Stevens, Blanchard, and Bradbury. 3-0 the count to Stevens. And walks on 4 pitches. Smith pitched 7 full innings yesterday.
Yeah.
And so she came back in the second inning because Coach Schultz probably believed or saw an opportunity to maybe get a big district win right here. She might be getting a little tired.
Yeah. It's funny you bring it up because I was just about to say you have to wonder when fatigue is going to start playing a factor in Smith, and they got some action happening in the bullpen right now for Prairieville. So
yeah, you have some other options, and a steal and not even going to be a throw. So Madison Stevens, that's her 4th stolen base, and now you have a runner in scoring position with a 2-0 count.
Prairieville's got a couple of pitchers, can't see who it is, warming up in the pen. They're just hoping they can get through this inning.
And there's a strike called.
Still threatening with those steals.
East Ascension got 4 runs in the 4th. Moved from a 4-2 deficit to a 6-4 lead, and that's fouled in our direction. So Smith comes back, 2-2. Runner on second, nobody out. Stevens walked and stole.
And considering what she's pitched against, she's pitched pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not an easy lineup. This is a lineup that has all the potential in the world to make some noise in the postseason, and she's given up some runs to it, but there've been some bad breaks in those runs that she's given up.
Yeah, East Ascension's really good, and there's a swing and a miss for the strikeout. So the first out of the inning. East Ascension is a very good team, and most of the noise they make is on offense. Their pitching still young and improving, but this is an offensive team. When they win, they score a lot of runs.
Yeah. And we talked about it, most of the teams you're going to play are going to have a lot of seniors on them. EA is one of those little bits of an exception. They have a lot of juniors. Mm-hmm. Next year is where they're going to try to make their run next year with the pitching maturing a little bit.
Yeah.
All those juniors will be seniors, and that you kind of look at their roster the way it's built. Mm-hmm. It looks like next year is where they're going to make their run, and they're going to be hard to beat.
Yep. This is Bradbury. And a 3-pitch strikeout. So back-to-back Ks. And again, just like that, the moment I say that it looks like Smith is laboring out there, she answers with back-to-back strikeouts. See, poor, she'll probably tell me something tomorrow because I think she has a class across the hall from me. Well, no, we have the ACT tomorrow, so I won't see her tomorrow. Thank God. All right. There's a hit up the middle, and the shortstop's going to get it, and the throw to the plate as the runner's coming across is safe. Now the throw to second, also safe. So there's your favorite player right there, Zakiah Jackson with the RBI on an infield hit.
Another RBI, and she's able to get into second. Just heads up, I've enjoyed watching her play. I mean, her, Tullier, both have been exciting. You love watching good players play.
So you had the infield hit, and they were sending Stevens all along, and the shortstop, Blanchard, couldn't get the throw to the plate in time. And so it's 7-4 on the RBI base hit by Jackson. Jackson's got 2 RBIs on 2 hits, and Tullier fouls it away. And now that's very key that Jackson got to second because Tullier can definitely get an RBI right here. Of course, if she hits it off the wall like she did last time, she could have scored from first.
Oh, yeah. The wind is kicking right now. So.
Yeah, if she can go opposite field.
Oh, yeah.
1-1. 2 outs, run is in, high.
And we'll see if she gives her anything to hit because I think, 3 straight hits or 2 straight hits for her?
She popped to third, got a single, and got a double. And that is sky high. Center fielder is there, and LaDuff makes the catch. Good job fighting that wind as you have a run scoring. So you have one run on one hit and no errors and one left. We go to the sixth. It's 7-4 East Ascension. You're watching the Rev Game of the Week.
Agape School of Baton Rouge is a kindergarten through 8th grade school. Our mission is to educate the whole child, spiritually, emotionally, and cognitively. It is a Christ-centered environment where we know them. We use technology in our classrooms to enrich the education experience, and REV made that happen for us. It was an incredibly quick turnaround service coming into our new facility. If you're a business looking for technology, I would highly recommend REV.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program. State Farm Insurance Agent Adam McCarty. Ross Downing Buick GMC Gonzalez. Athletic Center. Our Lady of the Lake Health. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic Foundation.
And we go to the top of the sixth, and it's 7-4. East Ascension leads Prairieville. 8-9-1 coming up to face Creel. That's James, Richard, and Duff. And so we'll lead off with Bristol James. Had a fielder's choice and a grounder to second. Takes a ball. And so East Ascension is 6 outs away from going 3-0 in district, but Prairieville has made it interesting. They had the lead going all the way through the fourth before they gave it up in the fourth, at the bottom of the fourth with that 4-run spot. Fouled away, 1-1. This is back-to-back games where Prairieville has made a very impressive performance. They had the lead going into the sixth on Dutchtown yesterday, but lost. They had a 4-3 lead, lost 6-4. Count 2-1.
James, who's the catcher, and she's been working today. And she has been working today, trying to keep base runners where they're supposed to be, and no ball has gotten by her, to be fair.
And there's fouled.
I think she just hit that one right off her leg.
Yep. And so count 2-2 with nobody out. So Prairieville, like I said, this is games against two good district teams where they've challenged for sure. As that is foul out of play.
Yeah, they you know, that's the thing. This EA was hoping they started their pitcher and brought him in and was hoping, can we get by with a younger pitcher today, get some experience for her, and they had to sub in Creel. Prairieville put him in that position, but kind of like what you had happen the other day, just not able to keep up with the team as they went.
In the hole, good stop by Lanou, and that throw has no chance. She did a great job just saving that, but you have an infield hit. And so James gets her first hit of the day. Now Richard's going to come to the plate, walked and grounded to third. This really shouldn't come as that much of a surprise because Prairieville has wins over 5A schools. They've beaten Central, they've beaten Barb, they've beaten Southside. Southside was a semifinalist last year.
Yeah, offensively they haven't been terrible. I mean, EA has made some very good plays, but really it's, that's what most of the teams just comes down to pitching.
Yeah.
You've got to have pitchers that can keep the game very, very close. And I think when we looked at the scores, I think we had the scores for those other games. They've been able to put up runs this year. I mean, they've done a good job in some games of putting up some runs. They have a couple of players that are in double digits in RBIs and walks, and that's they're good at getting on base, and we'll see what they're able to do with continuing to grow. And I mean, we talked about in that last inning. I think who was it? The Mackenzie DeRoche. She's only had, I think that was only her 6th plate appearance the entire season.
And now they got runners on first and second. And you hate to see that. I'm sure if you coach Tony, because you just got the 8-9 hitters on base.
Yeah.
And you got to get 8-9 when you got the chance right there, because now you got 1, 2, 3 coming up with the potential tying run at the plate. And Parker LaDuff is coming to the plate. Now, she's not a long ball threat necessarily. She doesn't have any on the team. But you got some power coming behind her.
Yeah.
As the first pitch is a ball.
Leads the team in hits and leads the team in runs scored. She also has 11 stolen bases, so she gets on. She can move.
Off the glove of the pitcher, and it's an infield hit.
Yep.
Once it got past the pitcher, nobody was going to beat her out.
No, she can move.
And the bases are loaded with no out. Prairieville, they got a lot of fight in them.
Yep. And now Haley comes out there, and when you look at her this year, she has a triple on the season. She has 12 walks.
Yeah.
And so she has a good eye. She is not going to be an easy out. She's a near 300 hitter. This is not the situation that you wanted in the sixth. About to
right. So for Sackerly,
and there it is
to left, and it is caught, and an RBI on the sacrifice as the throw to second from Touye over to Stevens gets Richard, who gets caught napping, 5-4, and so you got the sack. So an RBI for Sackerly. James scores. Touye catches Richard at second, and so now you got a runner at first with 2 outs. That's a rally killer right there.
That's huge.
Touye, that's what she does. She's got awareness like crazy.
And it also, when you're Prairieville, you're not always used to going up against people that have an arm like that. You're not used to somebody who has the instincts of that. She's she's very, very good softball player, and
and so we'll call that second out 7-5-4 because it came from the left fielder. And there's Touye, and the throw for an error, because that's in the dirt. And so now you got second and third. I thought they were going to get out of the inning right there.
EA really just can't get out of their own way in this game.
And so I believe that's going to be an error as a throw in the dirt.
I was really watching right here. Just it was in front of her. She had
now it's 7-5 with 2 outs and Smith at the plate.
Smith, the 371 hitter, and coming in there with, she's got 13 hits on the season. Not somebody. She doesn't have a lot of RBIs, but that's just because they haven't had a lot of people on base in front of her.
Yep. A strike called. Seems like every time I compliment a player, or say something different about a player, they go prove me wrong.
Don't say anything nice about me today, Jack.
Yeah. You're doing a terrible job. There's a drive to short and a throw in time, 6-3. So Lanou to Johnson for the third out, but Prairieville gets a run back.
Yeah.
1 run on 2 hits, and you have 1 error, and you had 2 left on base. So now we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 7-5. EA with the lead. You're watching the Rev game of the week.
We got a ball game. Here's what we got coming up right now with East Ascension High School. We're going to be live streaming these games on Rev Sports Tuesday the 25th at 6 p.m. We have EA at Prairieville High School. That's going to be baseball. Tuesday on the 1st, we're going to have EA at Prairieville on softball. That's going to be at 5 o'clock. Then on Thursday, the 3rd at 5 o'clock as well, we will have EA at Santa Mall softball. Once again, the big game right there. And then Saturday, the 5th at 11 a.m., you're going to have Dutchtown at East Ascension baseball, and that's going to be some tough games right there. EA's that's going to be a good schedule coming up.
Absolutely. Now, again, Thursday, even though East Ascension's not going to be involved, you got baseball season beginning in district play. Baseball season's already begun, and again Thursday that Dutchtown Prairieville game is going to be a big one.
We just, I've said it a few times, but we just have a lot of talented baseball and softball teams in this parish. Not just the 5A, Ascension Christian. I think they're number 3 in softball right now, and they just beat a couple of 5A schools. I think they beat Prairieville in baseball. Mm-hmm. Ascension Catholic has a good baseball team. I mean, there's some talent.
And Lanu gets a base hit, and so she's reached base 4 times, and she's going to get all the way to third. And so you get a triple right there for Maya Lanu.
Her second of the season, and she's got 8 stolen bases. So she's got wheels.
Yep.
And I think we're going to get that pitching change now.
Perhaps. 7-5 is our score. And this game is still within reach if you can get somebody to keep Lanu from scoring. It still would be a 3-run game if she did score. And so now you're going to get the new pitcher coming in for the Lady Canes.
I think it's at number 2.
Kaylin Sheets, yes. So Kaylin Sheets, she was one of those 2 players that we were talking about that came over from basketball, and she is she's making her 3rd appearance of the season. So she's just getting back in the kind of used to the softball season, and she only has 2 appearances. But like I said, she's been playing basketball. She's the 2nd leading scorer on the Lady Canes team that made the playoffs, lost in the first round.
And her bat hadn't quite caught up yet with how good she is, the talent. But her pitching, I mean, so far in those 2 appearances, I mean, only a 2.42 ERA. And as she gets more at bats, you're going to see her, no pun intended, get back into the swing of things and be able to put some good contact on the ball, but a good multi-sport athlete.
Yep, absolutely. But she's got a jam right here. Now, Sheets is one of those sophomores. So she's not a freshman, but not a lot of high school pitching experience going into this season. And now you're going to have Creel. We have 2, 3, and 4 that are up for East Ascension. Lanu was a 2-hitter. She tripled. Creel, the pitcher for EA, is at the plate, and Avery Stevens is on deck. And there's a ball, 2-0. So you got a base open. Now the infield's playing back. They're playing at regular depth. So is the outfield. So I think they're conceding a run on a ground ball right there. 3-0 though. And with a hitter like Creel, you really can't. You're putting your life in your hands if you start playing in on her.
Yeah, I mean, what did we say? In 25 RBIs?
Yep.
I think she has a couple today.
I don't think she has any. That was Tuye who got the RBIs earlier. Okay. Yeah. Right. Let's see. There's a shot to third and a throw to first. Piper over to Fasackerly, and she did a great job stabbing that ball right there and stopping it, and then had plenty of time because it was hit so hard that she was able to get the out. Now Lanu had to go diving back to third because that ball was right at her. And if she got away from that base too far, Piper would have just tagged her for the out.
I mean, and I want to point it out once again, a freshman.
Yep.
That throw was from the third base.
Yep.
No running, no charging. She just threw that thing flat-footed from third. Just the how good this team will be in a couple of years.
Right.
You do not want to coach in this district if you don't like playing against good competition.
Oh, and that gets past the catcher, but it gets right back to her because that was just that one.
That's perfect.
good ricochet coming back to her right there. Did that hit one of the mics or something?
Must have.
Because I heard something pop. That's high. 3-0.
I mean, I don't think you could have designed a more perfect bounce.
Yeah.
With the ball going behind, getting over the catcher's head.
Yeah, you're talking about Piper. I'll talk about this after this pitch. 3-0. Strike. You want to have your best defensive player at third base because that's where you're going to hit the ball most of the time, and that's where a lot of those little slap hits and swinging bunts go. So you got to have a great defensive player, but you have to play a freshman right there if you're Prairieville. And she's done a great job so far. And she goes for the bunt attempt, and they're going to say that there was no contact. It gets away, and the run is going to score. And so that is going to be the 8th run for the Lady Spartans, and it's 8-5 as that's ball 4. Wasn't sure if there was contact there or not, or maybe not sure. Not sure. Yeah, as you're going to have a courtesy runner as she reaches first. That's number 15, Riley Bourgeois.
I guess it bounced off the ground and the catcher, because when the catcher got it, that bounce got about. Once again, Piper right there to clean it up. I mean,
yep. But the runner's going to score. Now it's 8-5 with a runner on first and 1 out. And a steal attempt, safe. East Ascension has lots of stolen bases today.
Hines in there.
You had that one instance where Touye got called out at the plate when she was trying to take home plate on the throwback to the pitcher. But other than that,
and is
every
Hines,
time they tried to get that extra base, they've been successful.
Is Hines a new catcher in there?
Could be. She is a catcher.
Yeah, I think that we got a new catcher.
And there's the ground ball, and the third baseman, Piper to Fasackerly.
She fakes out the, fake throws the second baseman back to the runner back onto second, and then able to skip it across to first. Man.
So talked about watching 2 great plays this inning.
Talking about watching those players, man. It's exciting when you watch players that just have some talent and skill like that. She has got some defensive chops, that's for sure.
As Stevens lines it straight to Blanchard for the third out. And so 1 run scores on the triple by Lanu, and she scores on the wild pitch. So you have 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. It's 8-5 as we go into the 7th. You're watching the REV Game of the Week.
At Farm Bureau of St. James, we say real service, real people, and it's more than just a slogan. We're a multi-line, local insurance company doing business in all 64 parishes in Louisiana. We live here, our customers are our neighbors, and this allows us to tailor coverage to their specific needs. Everything we do is database driven, and having reliable phone and internet service is critical. REV is our technology partner, and they deliver great customer service. If you need the technology, why not deal with your neighbor? If you want a true partner, REV Business is the way to go.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of our Spartans Sports Medicine Program. Precision Pools and Outdoors, Parish Engineering, Black Bayou Lending, OxyChem, The RV Shop, Innovative Orthotics and Prosthetics of Louisiana.
Number 9, Lily.
We go to the top of the 7th. East Ascension can get the win if they can keep Prairieville from scoring 3 or more runs. They're going to see 5, 6, and 7. Kinberger, Blanchard, and DeRoche. Creel came in the second. She could get the win as another stab right there by Touye as the line out, and that's the second time that we've seen a pitch go for a shot that was kind of snow-coned by the defense as Touye makes the play right there. Blanchard made that play earlier in right field that saved a couple of runs. Now we have one out. Third base. That's why you got to have your best defensive player right there.
The third base play tonight defensively, it's been top-notch. Like you couldn't have asked for a better matchup between watching Touye and watching DeRoche. I mean, really just
right.
I'm sorry, not DeRoche. Piper.
Right.
It just,
I know who you meant.
Yeah, it's been that's what you love to see is something like that, and they really just a hot corner. Both these teams are in good hands for the next 2 years.
As Blanchard gets the blooper hit to right, and that instance where DeRoche hit that ball out there to right and made that play, if she would have been playing in on that like she did right there, that was the difference why that was a hit and why the other one was an out, because she was playing at basically regular depth out there with one out and nobody on base. And so Blanchard gets the base hit.
And I love DeRoche being out there. I mean, as I said, this is, I think, like her 7th plate appearance of the whole season.
Yep.
She made contact on the last one. They made an incredible catch. And just another one of the freshmen. Just get them some plate appearance, get them some time, get some at-bats.
Yep. DeRoche fouls that one up. Maybe been a little high.
It's like watching I forget the player in the MLB, but when they swing, they're already moving. Ichiro. Yeah. It's like watching Ichiro Suzuki with her out there because she's swinging and she's already starting to run as she takes the swing.
Well, those left-handed hitters have that advantage. Infield playing a little in. They're expecting her to kind of swing, drag one right there. And she fouls it away. So they're kind of expecting that little drag right there. They'll swing, kind of like a swinging bunt. And with her speed, try to beat that out. You have Blanchard at first with one out. 3-run lead for EA. And there's that little swinging bunt, and it doesn't get past the pitcher, which they needed to happen as Creel scoops it up and tosses it to Johnson for the second out, and Blanchard goes to second. They're kind of conceding that one right there because they're up 3. That one doesn't harm them. Now Ainsley Hines, you were talking about her coming in at catcher. So she's going to bat right here. Her first appearance.
I think there's only her. I don't think she has a hit yet on the season because this is only her 3rd plate appearance the whole year.
Yeah.
So just get that experience, man. Come on.
There's a pitch. Goes high.
You send her out there, tell her take the first one, just see what she's throwing, maybe even take the second one, and then just swing away. Have fun.
One and 0. There's a shot to right, and the right fielder is playing that for the 3rd out. And that is going to do it as that retires the side and ends the game. No runs on one hit, no errors, one left. And our final score, East Ascension gets the win and moves to 3-0 in district. Our final score, East Ascension 8, Prairieville 5. Prairieville had the lead for about half this game, but then the EA backs came alive. They had that very costly 4th inning for the Lady Hurricanes as the Lady Spartans got 4 across the plate, took the lead for the first time, and then never looked back.
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, we got to see a lot of treats out here between Touye and Piper on third. Some pitching changes that coaches playing some strategy. It was just a good game.
Yep.
Prairieville coming out and showing, I mean, hey, as young as we are, score's 8-5. You're going to 3-0 in district, but we did not give you this game. You had to fight hard for it, and just a good, enjoyable time to watch. I mean, that Santa Maria EA game is going to be fun, and Prairieville's going to be a hard out every game this season.
Now, on the season, Prairieville drops to 5-8, 0-3. East Ascension moves up to 8-5, 3-0 in district. And, of course, on Thursday, we're going to be back on the air for our second game of the week this week. That's going to be baseball over at Prairieville as the district opener for Prairieville and Dutchtown, and we want to make sure that you're checking that out, as that's going to be a very important game for both teams, as Prairieville is having a good season so far. They look like they could potentially be a playoff team if they can hang on. They're in the power rankings in the playoffs right now, as we'll see what they can do once district begins. But we'd like to remind everyone that you can watch our games live streamed on the Rev Sports 1 YouTube channel each week, as well as the replays on TV on Rev Channel 4. Thanks for watching tonight, and a reminder to join us Thursday at 6 from Hurricane Park in Prairieville, as the Hurricanes will face the Dutchtown Griffins in a District 5-5A baseball game. For Jonathan Moore, I'm Jeff Porsche. You've been watching the Rev Game of the Week.